There is in the garage on Bryant Avenue a 2015 Ford F-150 with 68,000 miles on it. The truck is silver. The truck has not, in any meaningful sense, hauled anything since June of last year. In 9 years of ownership, the truck has carried in its bed 4 loads of mulch, 3 IKEA boxes, 1 couch belonging to a friend named Marcus, 2 Christmas trees, a washing machine that did not in the end fit, a box of books from a grad school move, some bicycles, and the dead deer your neighbor asked you to help dispose of. Total bed uses, fewer than 30. Total bed uses required by your job, 0. The truck cost $68,000. You did not ever need the truck. You bought it on a Saturday in October at age 28. The sales floor smelled like new vinyl and free coffee. The salesman was named Kevin. Kevin wore a polo with the dealership logo. Kevin shook your hand the same way 3 times. You told Kevin you were buying the truck for your side business. You did not at that point have a side business. You had in your phone notes a list titled Things I Might Do, which contained, among other items, the words landscaping and build a deck for someone. Kevin nodded. Kevin understood. Kevin had heard this exact version of the conversation hundreds of times. The truck was $65,000. With tax and gap insurance, it became $68,000. The monthly payment financed over 72 months was $924. Your monthly take-home pay at 28 was $4,300. You signed and drove it off the lot. The first photograph you took with your new truck was a selfie. The second photograph was the truck parked alone in your apartment lot. Both photographs are still on your phone. The side business never started. By year 2, the truck had become a daily driver. You commuted in it. You parked it in tight downtown spots that required multiple attempts. You burned about $48 of gas per week because the F-150 averaged 17 miles per gallon in city driving. By year 3, you had used the truck bed exactly 11 times. Every one of those uses you can still describe. 3 involved IKEA. 1 was a friend's move. 2 were mulch deliveries. 5 were small loads to the local dump. Nobody at work asked about your truck anymore. The novelty wore off in the 2nd month. Your friend Marcus, who runs a landscaping crew, drives a 2008 Silverado he bought, used for $9,000. Marcus's Silverado has over 300,000 miles on it and has hauled nearly every kind of object a truck is supposed to haul. Marcus never comments on your truck. He is too kind. He has also never once asked to borrow it. You realize eventually that this is on purpose. Then, Brandon comes over one Saturday. He is moving an L-shaped couch and asks if he can borrow the truck. You hand him the keys and watch him drive away. Standing in your kitchen holding a coffee mug, you realize what the truck has become. It is the thing other people borrow. It is the prop in your friend's moves, your cousin's projects, your neighbor's fence build. The truck is the object you store, fuel, insure, and depreciate on behalf of a network of people who are not paying for any of those things. You are not really the owner of a truck. You are the depreciation underneath one. Later that evening, after Brandon returns the keys and a 6-pack as thanks, you sit at the kitchen counter and look up what a U-Haul costs. The answer is about $40. By year 5, the financing ended. The truck was technically an asset. You briefly considered selling it. At that point, it would have brought around $38,000. You looked at Civics and Corollas, vehicles that fit comfortably into normal parking spaces. But you did not sell. You told yourself you might still need the truck. You told yourself selling a paid-off vehicle was somehow a loss. More than that, you did not want to admit what selling the truck would mean. It would mean admitting that you had spent tens of thousands of dollars on a story you no longer believed. So, you kept the truck. You kept the story. You kept paying for both. By year 9, you sit down with a calculator and begin entering the numbers one at a time. The truck cost $68,000. Interest paid over the financing period was $12,400. Gas over 9 years cost roughly $22,500. Insurance added another $16,200. Maintenance, oil changes, tires, and service added about $9,000. A few parking tickets added another $240. Total cost of ownership over 9 years, approximately $128,000. Total number of times you actually needed a truck, around 30. Cost per truck use, roughly $4,200. If you had rented a U-Haul every single time, the total cost would have been around $1,200. You did not save money by owning the truck. You spent over $127,000 more than necessary. Meanwhile, Marcus took the difference between buying a used truck and buying a new one and invested it in an index fund. He rarely checked the account. Years later, it had grown to more than $200,000. You step outside and look at the truck. It is still silver. It still has only 68,000 miles on it. It will probably last another decade. But now, you understand what you actually bought that Saturday at age 28. You did not buy a truck. You bought the idea of the man who would use the truck. You paid $128,000 for an identity you never moved into. The man who truly needed the truck is somewhere else driving a used Silverado, hauling things every week, because that is what his life requires. In a strange way, that man is also you. He is simply the version of you that chose differently. Eventually, you sell the truck for $22,000 and buy a used Civic. The Civic never gets borrowed.